first, to start it all off, is Jay Ingram. Let me tell you a bit about Jay, one of Canada's best known and most popular science personalities, a broadcaster, author, and recipient of the Queen's Jubilee Medal, along with multiple honorary degrees, and I should mention pretty cool glasses as well. He makes Calgary his home as a hotbed of innovation and creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Jay Ingram. Come on up, Jay.
Okay, so 4 years ago, I left Toronto and came here. I'm sorry you can't applaud because I've only got 20 seconds per slide. I quit hosting a TV show, and since I've come here, I've had the most amazing kaleidoscope of opportunities that I'm convinced couldn't happen anywhere else. Last September, I had had this obsession since 1980 that I have a project called the Giant Walk Through Brain, and we finally pulled it off, the virtual musical version. Computer scientists, musicians, engineers, that's in Telespark. We sold it out 2 nights in a row. And while talking about the brain, I've got to say, I got to speak about the brain at the Hotchkiss Brain Institute's 10th anniversary gala while people were eating dinner, exactly the thing that people fear I'll do at a dinner party. The food was great, though, and again, there was that combination, science, music, and art. And this summer will be the 10th year I've been chair of the Banff Science Communications Program. We were privileged in 2008. Narcisse Blood and Ryan Heavyhead came to the program to help open our young scientists' minds to the Aboriginal way of knowing. It was a spectacular day. And when Mary Ann Moser and I were first thinking of Beakerhead, we had a little meeting at our house in Bragg Creek, and a few arts people, including Michael Green, came out, and he stood out among the group for having this arrow-sharp idea about how to create narratives out of what we wanted to do. And now Beakerhead exists. The mayor calls it the Stampede for Geeks, but I want you to look at this cartoon, cover of the New Yorker from last June, typical Manhattan food delivery guy going to the International Space Station. A whimsical view of engineering which Beakerhead embraces. Unfortunately, though, an American engineer and writer, Henry Petrosky, complained that it gave him cognitive dissonance because artists were one thing and engineers another. We don't believe that. Look at that picture. Laser Cat from Barcelona set against the Calgary skyline. Calgary, engineering capital of the country, maybe second only to Houston in North America. We think there's a fantastic resource here to combine with the arts. Beakerhead was invented here, but inspiration came from all over. This is, of course, Burning Man, a magnet for builders the world over. Lots of makers and builders in this community take their constructions to Burning Man. And some of the Burning Man installations that we saw in 2008 really caught our eye. This is the ray gun Gothic rocket ship built by the Group 5-ton crane in San Francisco. Yes, it was at Burning Man, but it was equally at home on First Street in Vic Park in 2013. 6,000 Calgarians toured it. Kids loved it. Calgarians get that this is cool. 2014, the most talked about installation at Beakerhead was this, El Pulpo Mecanico, both enticing and terrifying at exactly the same time. But here's what most people don't know. Without fantastic cooperation from the Calgary Fire Department, El Pulpo would never have lit up the streets here, and there are some who think there are other cities that would never have it. We have great builders here, too. We don't have to import them all. This is Hippo Love. You can just see in the lower left-hand corner, Kane's Hippo Love. It's not actually an art car. It's a mutant vehicle. I spent the entire Stampede Parade last year just staying ahead of its propane-snorting nostrils. But we want the local maker movement to grow, and this is why I love this. This is a little old Mazda pickup with some organ pipes, a keyboard, LED lights, and it's been turned into a motorized Peacock. And that group of kids, and I can call them kids at this point in my life, all went to U of C, most of them the Schulich School of Engineering. Here's another uniquely local event, the Catharsis Catapult Competition. It's whimsy coupled with medieval weapons of mass destruction. You engineer the catapult, but then you exercise your artistic self by choosing to launch things you'd like to get rid of, like laundry, hence the catharsis. And not everything at Beakerhead challenges the skyline. This is the chemistry of coffee, Phil and Sebastian's workshop. And let's not forget, they're engineers who graduated here. And we had dozens of small-scale workshops like this, the science of makeup, the sisterhood of molten lead, your body and memory, all fully subscribed. And just briefly, back to the giant walk-through brain, there's the group, or at least part of the group that made it possible. Nicole Zylstra, improv and actor on the right. In the middle, Tatiana Karaman, who's a computer science student who developed the entire hour trip through the brain by herself. All the musicians, my friends, and many other computer scientists. But how did that project get off the ground? We have 2 Oscar-nominated Palme d'Or winning animators in this city, Amanda Forbes and Wendy Tilby, who stage this, the Inglewood Bleak Midwinter Film Fest every year. That's where we first got to workshop the giant walk-through brain. And the point is, for something as wide-ranging and variable as Beakerhead is, for it to succeed, it really speaks to the makeup of this city. Amazing volunteers, fantastic builders, engineering companies and their employees, and above all, open-minded, adventurous Calgarians, not to mention artists. And I couldn't show you all of this without crediting the fantastic Beakerhead photographers. We had 15 this year. We have 40 applications for the next Beakerhead. And where else would you see a floating jellyfish with a band at the Jack Singer? But the most critical thing is the education mandate that we have. This is the grade 8 team from Ted Harrison School in the Northeast who won the Atomic 13 Ingenuity Challenge. All we gave them was a giant roll of aluminum foil, that's element 13 for you scientists, and the theme, things are not what they seem. And this is what they engineered, something that they called light juggler. The student appears to be doing something impossible. It's things are not what they seem, juggling light. These students are obviously our future. We want to make sure that they're given opportunities to be creative in just any way you can think of, and Calgary is the perfect place for that. Thank you.